Hey everyone, for this week's video I wanted to share a fun experience on the Finnish server. Myskhako airfield is completely surrounded and is out of supply, and the front line is getting pounded. We decided to form a small fighter sweep and a transfer plane to see if we could punch a hole and hold the airspace long enough for the transfer plane to fly in. If this is your first time here, this channel focuses on multiplayer sim gameplay, so if you're into that, please subscribe. I hope you enjoy. I'm only flying with randoms in the sortie, so there will be no voice comms. I'll just be voicing over some thoughts and we'll see this unfold. I'm arriving to the airfield and I've let everyone know in the flight that when I fire a red flare, that means we're gonna start attacking. And one advantage of flying into enemy airspace that has a lot of enemies is that it's a very target-rich environment. And also there's this sense of complacency that the enemies have, because they've basically had free reign for the last couple of hours to strafe everything. They've gotten used to or gotten complacent and aren't really checking their six. So we're kind of here to try and take advantage of that. So let's see what happens. So that was a pretty sloppy miss. I had my convergence set wrong. I was using convergence of 270 instead of my usual 400 meters, so that's why I kind of missed there. And then when I come back over the top, you'll see that this guy stays really low, and it's always really tricky to bounce these guys when they're this low because you can't dive through them because you'll hit the ground. I get canopy hits here, and you can see on the right side my stabilizer. So I would have hit the ground if I didn't use my stabilizer there. And by pulling back on my stick and using my stabilizer, I was able to avoid pancaking there. So this chase is a little bit tricky. You can see that I'm looking around. I want to make sure that I'm not getting dragged out. I don't know if this guy sees me. We're trying to keep the fight around the Myskhako airfield because we don't really have much of a front line here, so it's kind of dangerous to go out into enemy territory. But we do need to kill the aircraft in order to protect the transfer plane that's coming. And this is an LA-5, and he's starting to outpace me a little bit. And I knew that I saw a plane over to my left, so I don't have that much time, and I can see the red smoke up ahead, so I'm crossing into enemy territory. And when someone's outpacing you, you can take some desperation shots to plink him and try to freak him out, and then he might break, and the F4 is going to beat an LA-5 in a turn fight. So I start doing that, and I get really lucky because I detonate him there. But you can see what he was about to do. Like, he started yanking back on his stick to turn because he panicked, and I would have had him anyways. So I get him, I stay low. I don't want to shine a light on myself by climbing up. I'm trying to stay low in the shadow of the clouds and try not to be visible so I can kind of walk away. And I'm in friendly territory, so I'm relatively safe. And again, moving back toward Myskhako airfield where all the other 109s are. So there was nothing super special about this kill, but just two things to keep in mind. One, he was attacking our airfield, so he was very focused on the ground. And two, again, complacency. This whole airspace has been totally Soviet controlled for the last couple of hours, so they're just not used to looking for us. But now that we've knocked down a few of them, it's going to get a little bit spicier. So we've downed at least 3 planes, and we know the supply plane's not here yet. So I'm trying to check up on him to make sure when he's coming. I also have less than 100 cannon rounds left, so need to be a little careful here. So you'll see that we're starting to really hold the airspace over the immediate airfield, and we're just kind of waiting. We need to conserve ammo and just hold. So this is going to make things tricky. We have an enemy tank that appeared, and today on this sortie, we got some people together, flew all the way here on 109s. We've had a few people spawn flak trucks to try to help support us so we can drag to them, but now an enemy tank's on the airfield. So I'm going to try to start rallying some people to see if we can push this tank off, because the supply is soon here and we can't land them unless we eliminate this tank. So we've eliminated the tank, we've cleared the airspace, we still have 109 circling around, and here comes the supply plane. So it's worked really well. I think that this is kind of special because, you know, when you play with your squad mates, you guys are kind of in a flow, and you know, you expect or trust each other. You know, and that's pretty straightforward. And when you do big organized raids, like everyone's kind of sticking with the plan, it's very formal, and it's like you guys are trying to do something. This was very impromptu, which I think kind of made it special. And we can see that the supply plane is finally landing, so we're about to open up this airfield. And now that this is going to happen, the hope is that as many people as possible start spawning in so we can get more planes up, because I'm basically out of ammo. I think I have like 30 cannon rounds left, and I'm sure the other 109s around here are low too. So let's see what happens. So this IL-2 came in at the perfect time. We had a bunch of planes on the runway, and he was able to take out a couple. Some did take off. I made a mistake by not sitting a little bit further north to try to interdict more. This IL-2 is not long for this world, but as we kill this IL-2, the sortie is going to come to an end. I hope you guys found this interesting. I think that this sortie was actually a little special because of the drama. The Soviets had the airspace for hours, and we were able to punch a hole, and it really didn't take much. It just took a couple guys, not even on comms, to agree that we were going to go do this and have a transfer plane come in right after us. So hopefully this inspires you to try to work with others, and I hope you guys found this video fun. Please consider subscribing, and I hope you guys have a good one. Thank you.